Poppin' everybody, welcome to SOK ENT News. Click that subscribe button, thumbs up the video. Make sure y'all leave a comment. Always feel free to click one of the donation links in the box. I got some breaking news for y'all. We're gonna be talking about some boxing news. Now, last Saturday, Adrien Broner fought Manny Pacquiao. And, as it was already predicted, Manny Pacquiao ended up beating Adrien Broner. Once again, AB just didn't let his hands go, man. He came into the fight in great shape. You know what I'm saying? He made weight, looked good. He talked a good game. One thing Adrien Broner is good at is talking shit, man. He pretty much convinced the whole world that he was gonna do this for the hood, and on goddamn, he was gonna knock Manny Pacquiao out. But once again, Adrien Broner came into the fight, was in great shape, said that he was going to win, said that he was going to be champion, said that he was going to shock the world, said that, he had a chance to, earn $100 million for his family, and he said he was going to put everything on the line to beat Manny. And, he looked bad, you know what I'm saying? Now he didn't suffer any damage, like there was no marks on his face, no cuts. He was never badly injured in that fight, but he did get rocked. There was a moment in the fight where Manny Pacquiao caught him with the left hand and almost knocked him out, almost knocked him down. But Adrien Broner just stumbled. He didn't fall. He didn't get too jelly legged. You know what I'm saying? He stayed in the fight. He wasn't knocked down. Manny Pacquiao wasn't knocked down. Now there are reports that Manny Pacquiao did injure his eye. They're saying that he scratched his cornea, and they're saying that they're worried that it could be detached, and this could actually cause Manny Pacquiao to retire. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are expecting Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather to fight once again sometime this year, and if not that, Manny Pacquiao has said that he's interested in fighting the winner of Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? There's also rumors that he might fight Keith Thurman next. And now Gervonta Tank Davis is coming out saying that he wants to fight Manny Pacquiao. But back to the main topic of this video. Let's talk about Adrien Broner, right? Adrien Broner has now lost 3 times. He lost against, actually it might be 4. He lost against Marcos Maidana. He lost against Sean Porter. He lost against Mikey Garcia. He lost against Manny Pacquiao, and he had a draw against Jesse Vargas. Now, me personally, I wanted Adrien Broner to win this fight, but deep down, I knew he was going to lose, and I'm going to tell you why. After I saw that Adrien Broner could not beat Jesse Vargas, I knew at that point that he wasn't going to be the same fighter. You know what I'm saying? Because I actually predicted that he was going to knock Jesse Vargas out. And there was actually moments in that fight where he looked like he was going to get the job done. But unfortunately, and that was actually Adrien Broner's best fight that we've seen from him in a long time. Like after he got beat by Marcos Maidana, we didn't see him look as good as he did in that fight with Jesse Vargas. Jesse Vargas's face was really badly damaged after that fight, but he was able to, last the entire fight. He actually caught AB a couple times, and it was a draw. But after I saw he couldn't knock Jesse Vargas out, I was like, there's no way in hell he's going to beat Manny Pacquiao. Even though Manny Pacquiao is 40 years old, he's still a legend. He's still in shape. He's still very athletic. He's still very faster than a lot of boxers that's younger than him. And he's still an elite fighter. You know what I'm saying? His last fight against Lucas Matisse, Manny Pacquiao knocked him out. So with that being said, Adrien Broner had the audacity to talk about how, he thinks that he won the fight, and everybody out there knows he won the fight. Everybody that watched it knows that he won the fight. And he was like, the reason why the judges said that he lost was simply because they wanted to make money for the Floyd and Manny fight. But bro, Adrien Broner, you lost, bro. You barely threw any punches the entire fight. You know what I'm saying? You barely threw any punches. You weren't moving around enough. You weren't active enough. You weren't throwing the jab enough. You did catch Manny a couple times, but you know he outboxed you, bro. He outboxed you. All you got to do is look at the statistics. Anybody with a fresh pair of eyes that can actually see and is not legally blind can see that you lost the fight. Now, with that being said, I also want to talk about this, right? Because you got a lot of clowns out here that's on YouTube, a lot of clowns out here that just like to, they like to just talk shit and they know it's not true, right? So let's talk about this, right? So, first of all, shout out to Fight Hype, shout out to Boxing Ego, shout out to Dante's Boxing Nation, shout out to all of y'all, man. But I want to talk about Blue Blood Sports TV, right? Okay, now Blue Blood Sports TV made a video where he basically said that Adrien Broner beat Manny Pacquiao. And I'm gonna tell y'all my problem with this, right? See, you got guys out here that talk boxing, they make a living out of talking about boxing, but when it's time to actually when it's time to actually like review these fights and actually give an honest, reaction to the fights, you got a lot of guys out here that's biased. You got a lot of guys out here that support certain fighters just because they're a certain color or because they come from a certain area. And we got to stop doing that, man. We have to stop doing that, because what happens is you're taking away from the sport. If you're choosing, if you're saying that a particular fighter won just because he's black, or just because he's Hispanic, or just because he's from Italy, what you're doing is you're so focused with your ego that you're not actually paying attention to what's going on. Now, anybody that watched that fight with Adrien Broner and Manny Pacquiao, they know. You ask any other legends that watched the fight, they'll tell you Adrien Broner got outboxed. He lost. Now, nobody's saying that Adrien Broner got his ass whooped. He didn't get his ass whooped, okay? He didn't have any marks on his face, but he lost. He did not throw enough punches. He did not throw enough power punches. He did not throw enough jabs. He wasn't as active as Manny Pacquiao was. So because of that, he lost. Manny Pacquiao at 40 years old was much quicker than Adrien Broner. He threw more punches than Adrien Broner. Even the way he was moving around the ring was much better than Adrien Broner. He won, fair and square. So I just wanted to call out that guy, Blue Blood Sports TV. If you honestly believe that Adrien Broner beat Manny Pacquiao on Saturday, you need to stop talking about boxing, because clearly you're biased, bro. You're biased. You also said that Triple G lost to Canelo, and everybody that knows boxing knows that Triple G was robbed. Facts. He was robbed. He won the first fight, which everybody said Triple G won the first fight. They called it a draw. The second fight, he outboxed Canelo. Y'all keep saying, oh, well, Canelo walked Triple G down. It doesn't matter, bro. What matters is who outboxed who. Triple G was better with the jab. Triple G threw the better punches. Triple G threw the bigger punches. He beat Canelo. Facts. Anybody that knows boxing knows this. So stop saying stupid shit, because that's what I'm starting to think you niggas is doing. I'm starting to think this Blue Blood Sports TV guy, what I'm starting to think about him is, I think that he's saying outrageous things for attention. I think that he's saying outrageous things because he wants people to comment on his video and diss him. And I'm going to tell you this, bro. Once again, if you watch that entire fight, because I watched it. I literally watched Adrien Broner do the same thing that he's been doing his last 3 fights. He gets into the ring. He throws no punches. And I'm going to tell you why. Adrien Broner doesn't like to throw punches because he's scared to get hit. Since nobody wants to talk about it, let's really talk about this shit, right? The reason why in fights against Mikey Garcia, in fights against Sean Porter, in fights against Jesse Vargas, the reason why Adrien Broner does not throw enough punches is because he's scared to get hit. Whenever he's against somebody that throws a big volume of punches, he freezes up. He gets into defense mode. He doesn't want to get hit. He doesn't want to get knocked out. So what happens is is he keeps his gloves in front of his head and he just tries to dodge the punches. And he gets so caught up in not getting hit and not getting knocked out that he forgets that he still has to throw punches to win the fight. So what happens is Adrien Broner ends up spending most of the fight trying not to get knocked out, and in the last 3 rounds of the fight, that's when you see him let his hands go. And whenever he lets his hands go, good things happen, just like the fight against Sean Porter. Adrien Broner waited until the last 3 or 4 rounds to let his hands go, and when he did, what happened? He knocked down Sean Porter. If he would have did that in the beginning of the fight, he could have won the fight. Just like the fight against Mikey Garcia. He waited the last 3 or 4 rounds to start throwing punches. Once he did, he looked great. He looked like he could have possibly beat Mikey Garcia, which is why people keep saying, AB, let your hands go, let your hands go. Everybody asked him before this fight, are you finally going to let your hands go? He said yes. He got into that ring with Manny Pacquiao. He saw how fast Manny Pacquiao was. He saw that Manny Pacquiao was still athletic, still in shape, could still throw a huge number of punches. And because of that, he got into defense mode and was scared to get his ass knocked out. So, I just wanted to address that. Cut the bullshit. Blue Blood Sports TV, cut the bullshit. You need to stop talking about boxing because clearly you don't know boxing. You know what I'm saying? And with that being said, I think at this point, we got to go ahead and say this, right? Is Adrien Broner's career as a boxer, is it over, right? And I'm going to say this. Adrien Broner still has one fight that he can do before his boxing career is officially done. And I'm going to tell you, right? There's only one person that I could see Adrien Broner fighting again that could possibly resurrect his career. And that boxer that I'm talking about is Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia lost his last 2 fights. He lost against Keith Thurman, lost his championship, and he lost against Sean Porter, right? A lot of people think that Danny Garcia is overrated. A lot of people think that he's a cherry picker, right? A lot of people don't even think that he could beat a guy like Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford. So I think that the last option for Adrien Broner is to go ahead and fight Danny Garcia. Adrien Broner versus Danny Garcia is an amazing fight because both fighters, they don't do well against other fighters that throw a huge volume of punches. Adrien Broner and Danny Garcia are actually very, very similar fighters. The only difference is I believe that Danny Garcia is a bigger puncher than Adrien Broner. But they're both athletic. They both have been champions. They both were undefeated at one point. And I think that should be the last opportunity that we could give Adrien Broner is Adrien Broner versus Danny Garcia. Whoever wins that fight can end up, possibly getting a rematch with Sean Porter. And with that being said, subscribe, thumbs up the video. I'm out. Skirt.